Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most precious resource you possess. It is more valuable than money, more valuable than possessions, more valuable than applause. Because once time leaves you, it never returns. You can recover money, you can rebuild opportunities, you can regain strength, but you can never reclaim yesterday. Every year of your life is a deposit into eternity. The question is not whether you are spending your years, but whether you are investing them. Many people exist, but few truly live. They wake up, go through routine, follow schedules, and call that life. But life is not measured by motion, it is measured by purpose. Hear me clearly, another year of your life is not guaranteed. That means every year wasted is a gift abused. Every dream postponed is potential buried. Every goal ignored is destiny delayed. So I ask you, what will you do with the time still in your hands? Will you drift into another year repeating the same mistakes, carrying the same excuses, nursing the same regrets? Or will you decide right now that this next year will not be stolen from you? Your future is waiting. Your purpose is waiting. Your assignment is waiting. The world does not need another copy of yesterday. You have already done that. The world needs the vision, the creativity, the power locked inside you. But that treasure will not be unlocked by procrastination. It will not be unlocked by fear. It will not be unlocked by waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is not coming. The perfect time is when you decide you must treat every day as currency and spend it on what matters most. Stop investing in trivial things that drain your soul. Stop giving your energy to people who don't value your purpose. Stop wasting another year wandering in circles when you were born to move forward. If you want change, don't wait for the clock to strike midnight on December 31st. Change is not in the calendar. It is in your choice. Destiny doesn't respond to dates, it responds to decisions. My friend, don't waste another year of your life. This is your season to rise. This is your moment to start. Take what you have, start where you are, and move toward the vision placed inside you. Because when you live with purpose, every year becomes a masterpiece, and not a memory of regret. Time is the most precious commodity entrusted to us, yet it is often the most neglected. You can lose money and regain it. You can lose a position and be promoted again. You can lose friends and find new ones. But when time slips through your hands, you can never recover it. Yesterday is gone, and no matter how much you wish, pray, or cry for it to return, it will never walk back into your life. This truth makes time far more valuable than any treasure on earth. It is the currency of life itself. Every second, every minute, every hour, and every year is a deposit that you spend whether you like it or not. You cannot put it in a vault. You cannot freeze it. You cannot negotiate with it. Once the clock moves, you are carried forward. The question is not whether you are using time. The real question is whether you are investing it wisely or squandering it carelessly. Most people treat time as though it is infinite, as though tomorrow is guaranteed. They say, I will start tomorrow. I will pursue my dream next month. I will become serious next year. But the truth is that the only time you have in your hands is the present moment. Tomorrow is a mystery. Yesterday is history. What you have is today. That is why every year you allow to drift by without purpose is not just time wasted. It is life wasted. Because life is measured not in years but in the effective use of time. Think about it. Every year contains 365 days. Each day contains 24 hours. Each hour contains 60 minutes. Each minute contains 60 seconds. Multiply it and you realize how much time you are given. Yet within that enormous treasure, how much is truly invested in your vision, your growth, your purpose, and your destiny? Most people discover often too late that they have spent more hours entertaining themselves, worrying about the opinions of others, or replaying the regrets of yesterday than pursuing the assignment for which they were born. Time is the raw material of purpose. If you waste it, you are starving your destiny. There is also a sobering truth: time doesn't stop because you are unprepared. It doesn't wait for you to become motivated. The calendar will flip with or without you. Seasons will pass whether or not you are intentional. Children will grow, opportunities will close, health will change, and moments will fade, even if you were distracted. That is why the greatest tragedy is not death. The greatest tragedy is a life lived without purpose, where years pass but destiny remains untouched. To waste time is to waste life itself. This is why every moment should be measured against purpose. If what you are doing right now does not align with the reason you are alive, you are misusing your time. If the people you give your energy to are pulling you away from your destiny, then you are wasting precious years. If your daily habits are feeding your fears but starving your faith, then you are investing your time in the wrong soil. And just like a farmer who plants in barren land, you cannot expect a harvest from wasted time. But here is the hope: you are still alive, which means you still have time left. The breath in your lungs is evidence that your purpose is not finished. The fact that you woke up today means that there is still a future worth pursuing. You may have wasted months or even decades, but the moment you become intentional, the remaining time can be redeemed. What you achieve in the next year can outweigh what you lost in the last 10. But that will only happen if you stop treating time as common and start treating it as sacred. Time is not just passing, it is counting down. Every day you live is one less day you have. That reality should not depress you, it should awaken you. It should stir urgency within your soul. It should push you to evaluate how you are spending your hours, how you are structuring your days, and how you are investing your energy. Life is too short to live it drifting, wandering, and procrastinating. If you value your time, you will value your life. So I challenge you, look at the clock differently from this day forward. Do not let another year slip away while you are distracted, fearful, or waiting for the perfect conditions. Value your time. Protect it, guard it. Use it with intention. Because once time leaves, it never returns. And the greatest honor you can give to the gift of life is to live it purposefully with the awareness that time is irreplaceable. Many people confuse existing with living. They breathe, eat, sleep, work, and repeat the cycle year after year, believing that this cycle is what it means to live. But true living is not found in mere survival or routine. Existing means functioning biologically. Living means fulfilling purpose. There is a vast difference between being alive and truly living. One is automatic, the other is intentional. You did not come into this world just to take up space, consume resources, and eventually disappear. You were born with an assignment, a divine blueprint imprinted on your soul. Until you begin to discover and pursue that purpose, you are merely existing. Existing is easy. You do not need passion, vision, or courage to exist. A plant can exist, an animal can exist, a machine can exist, but you are not a machine. You are not simply designed to repeat cycles endlessly. You carry something within you that is unique, unrepeatable, and vital to the generation in which you live. To exist without uncovering that treasure is to cheat yourself and to rob the world of what you were meant to contribute. Think about the many people who follow the same pattern every year: wake up, go to work, return home, watch television, complain about life, and then do it all over again. They may have money, but they feel empty. They may be surrounded by people, yet they feel lonely. They may achieve success according to society's standards, but they still feel unfulfilled. Why? Because existence without purpose will always produce dissatisfaction. You cannot feed your soul with routine. The inner hunger for meaning will gnaw at you until you answer the call of your true assignment. Living, on the other hand, is marked by intentionality. It means you align your time, energy, and resources with the vision for which you were created. It means you wake up each day not only to survive, but to make an impact, to move closer to your destiny, and to maximize your potential. Living is not about how long you stay on earth. It is about how effectively you use the years given to you. There are people who die at 80, but lived only 20 years because 60 years were wasted in mere existence. And there are others who live only 40 years but impact the world so deeply that their influence echoes for generations. The question then is not, how many years will I live? But how will I live the years I have? When you understand that existing is not enough, you stop being satisfied with drifting through life. You stop making excuses for inaction. You stop confusing business with productivity. Just because your schedule is full does not mean your life is fruitful. You can be busy and still be empty. You can be active and still be unproductive. Living demands that you focus on what aligns with your purpose and cut away the things that waste your energy. The tragedy of existence without living is that it produces regret. At the end of their lives, many people look back not with joy but with sorrow, not because they did not exist, but because they never truly lived. They never chased their dreams. They never used their gifts. They never poured out the potential that was stored inside them. They allowed fear, doubt, and comfort to chain them to mediocrity. And so their graves become the storage houses of untapped potential, unwritten books, unbuilt businesses, unsung songs, and unlived visions. The cemetery is full of people who existed but never lived. Living requires courage. It means stepping out of the crowd and refusing to simply blend in. It means daring to ask, why am I here? And being willing to pursue the answer no matter the cost. It means refusing to waste years on things that do not matter and choosing instead to invest your time in what leaves a mark. True living may demand sacrifice, but it also produces joy. It may require discipline, but it also brings fulfillment. It may take you out of your comfort zone, but it also plants you in the zone of growth and destiny. You were not created to exist aimlessly. You were created to live intentionally. Every breath you take is a reminder that your purpose is still waiting. Every morning you rise is proof that you still have work to do. The question is whether you will continue to settle for existence or whether you will decide to live. To live is to align with destiny. To live is to transform potential into reality. To live is to leave behind a legacy that speaks long after you are gone. Existence is common, but true living is rare. And only those who choose purpose over routine, courage over fear, and vision over comfort will ever experience the fullness of life. You cannot afford to waste another year simply existing. Choose to live. Choose to step into your calling. Choose to wake up every day with intention. Because when you truly live, you do not just pass through time. Time begins to record your impact. Postponed dreams and ignored goals are like seeds left in a jar. They may carry all the potential to grow into strong trees and produce fruit, but if they are never planted, they remain lifeless. Wasted years are not just empty time. They represent opportunities that were never seized, visions that were never pursued, and destinies that were delayed. Every time you postpone what you know you were born to do, you are pressing pause on your own future. And while you hesitate, time does not. The clock keeps moving. Seasons keep changing. Opportunities pass by. What could have been achieved last year is left undone, and your destiny is pushed further into the distance. It is easy to tell yourself that you will pursue your dream when things settle down, or when the timing is better, or when you feel more ready. But here is the truth: the perfect moment will never come. Life will always be messy. Circumstances will never align perfectly. And if you keep waiting for conditions to improve before you begin, you will never begin at all. Dreams that are delayed often die in the waiting room of procrastination. Many people waste years convincing themselves that they are waiting for the right season, when in fact the season is waiting for them to take action. Destiny is not fulfilled by intentions, it is fulfilled by decisions. You can have the greatest vision, the most detailed plan, and the clearest dream, but if you refuse to act, none of it matters. Potential without execution is wasted potential. A dream without action is a fantasy. Goals without discipline are just wishes. And every year you leave your vision unattended, the gap between who you are and who you are meant to be grows wider. The danger of wasted years is that they accumulate silently. 1 year of delay doesn't feel too costly. You tell yourself, I'll do it next year. But then the next year comes and you repeat the same excuse. Before long, 5 years are gone. 10 years pass, entire decades vanish. And then you wake up one day realizing that what you could have built when you were younger, stronger, or freer is now harder to achieve. Opportunities you once had are no longer available. Doors that were open have closed. People who could have supported you have moved on. Wasted years are not just about lost time, they are about lost chances. But wasted years also weigh on your soul. Deep inside, you know there is more to your life than what you are doing. That unfulfilled potential becomes a source of frustration. You begin to feel restless even when everything around you looks fine. You may have comfort, stability, or success in the eyes of others, but inwardly you sense that something is missing. That emptiness is the voice of your destiny calling out for expression. Ignoring it will never bring peace. No amount of entertainment, distraction, or material success can silence the cry of purpose. Until you act, you will always feel incomplete. There is also a cost to those around you. Your dream is not just for you. It is connected to the lives of others. Every gift you carry is meant to serve people beyond yourself. When you delay, those people are deprived of the value you were meant to deliver. The business you never started could have provided jobs. The book you never wrote could have inspired generations. The ideas you buried could have solved problems in your community. The invention you ignored could have changed industries. Wasted years are not private losses, they are collective losses to humanity. Yet even in the midst of delay, there is hope. You may not be able to recover wasted years, but you can redeem the time you have left. 1 year of focus, discipline, and intentional action can accomplish more than 10 years of procrastination. When you finally decide to stop postponing and start moving, momentum begins to work in your favor. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes achievable because you have shifted from dreaming to doing. But redemption requires urgency. You cannot keep carrying yesterday's excuses into today and expect tomorrow to change. If you know what you should be doing, start now. If you know the dream that has been burning inside you, fan the flame and pursue it. If you know the goals that have been collecting dust in your journal, dust them off and take the first step. Stop saying someday. Someday is not on the calendar. The only day you are guaranteed is today. So do not waste another year of your life by postponing what matters most. Stop delaying your destiny. Stop burying your dreams under excuses. Stop letting fear keep you in circles. The time to act is now. Because every year you waste is not just another page on the calendar. It is another piece of your destiny left unfulfilled. Choose to break the cycle today. Plant the seed. Take the step. Move toward your vision. And watch as what was once delayed begins to flourish into the future you were meant to live. Change does not come with the turning of a calendar page. Change does not wait for January 1st, a birthday, or a new season. Change begins the moment you make a decision. The truth is, many people keep waiting for an external shift, a new year, a new environment, a new opportunity, before they choose to transform their lives. But destiny is not controlled by dates on a calendar. It is activated by the choices you make in the present. If you do not decide to change, another year will arrive, look exactly like the last one, and leave you in the same place you started. Decisions are the hinges on which destiny swings. The life you are living right now is the result of the choices you have made in the past. Where you are today is not simply a product of chance, but of decisions. Some decisions you made consciously, others you made by default through inaction, but all of them have shaped your present. In the same way, the life you will be living a year from now will be the direct result of the decisions you make today. That is why the most dangerous word in your vocabulary is later. Later postpones action. Later delays growth. Later steals years. Later is the silent thief of destiny. Waiting for motivation to arrive before you act is another trap. Motivation is not the fuel that begins movement. It is the reward that comes after you have already started. If you sit back and wait to feel ready, you may never act. Readiness is a myth. Nobody ever feels completely prepared to step into the unknown. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of fear. The difference between those who fulfill their purpose and those who waste years is not that one group has more opportunities than the other. It is that one group decides while the other hesitates. The power of decision is that it sets things in motion. When you decide, you break free from the prison of uncertainty. You stop living in limbo. You stop drifting with the tide of circumstances. A decision is a declaration to yourself and to life that you will no longer be passive. It is the point where you will take charge of your direction. Nothing changes until you decide. You cannot conquer what you continue to tolerate. You cannot overcome what you keep excusing. Until you decide that enough is enough, things will remain the same. Think of the countless people who stay stuck year after year, not because they lack ability, but because they lack decision. They know what they should do. They feel the pull of their vision. They hear the voice of destiny urging them forward, yet they remain frozen between what is and what could be. Indecision is paralysis. It keeps you moving in circles. It makes you a spectator of your own life instead of a participant. Every dream you have that is unfulfilled right now is waiting for a decision. A decision does not mean you know every step ahead of you. It means you are willing to take the first step. Once you decide, clarity grows along the way. You cannot steer a parked car. But the moment the car begins to move, you can turn the wheel and adjust the direction. The same is true of life. If you are waiting to see the entire path before you move, you will remain stuck. Decide, and the path will unfold as you walk it. There is a powerful freedom that comes with decision. When you decide, you eliminate unnecessary options. You stop wasting time entertaining distractions. You stop giving energy to what does not align with your future. Decision focuses your life like a laser. It channels your strength, your passion, and your resources toward what truly matters. Without decision, your energy is scattered. With decision, your energy is concentrated. And what you concentrate on grows. But decision must be followed by discipline. A decision without consistent action is simply a wish. True decision is proven in daily habits. If you decide to pursue your dream, then every day you must feed it with small intentional actions. Destiny is not built in one dramatic leap. It is built in daily steps of obedience to your choice. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, and faith over fear, you confirm your decision. The beauty of decision is that it is always in your hands. You may not control the circumstances around you, but you can always control your response. You may not control the opportunities that come your way, but you can decide to prepare yourself so that when opportunity knocks, you are ready. You may not control how much time has been lost, but you can decide not to waste any more. The greatest power you possess is the power of choice. So stop waiting for another year to bring change. Stop expecting the calendar to deliver transformation. It never will. Transformation is birthed when you decide. Decide that your life will no longer be dictated by fear. Decide that you will no longer tolerate procrastination. Decide that you will rise above excuses and step into purpose. Every year wasted is a result of indecision. Every destiny fulfilled is the fruit of courageous decisions. The choice is before you now. And the moment you decide, your life begins to change. The quality of your life is directly tied to the quality of what you allow into your space. Time and energy are finite resources, and once they are misused, they cannot be retrieved. Many people fail to reach their full potential not because they lack ability, but because they squander their strength on things and people that do not matter. You cannot invest yourself everywhere and still expect to fulfill your purpose. If you want to maximize your life, you must learn the discipline of guarding your energy. Every human being is like a container. What you allow to pour into you will determine what eventually flows out of you. If you constantly entertain negativity, fear, gossip, and trivial distractions, then your energy will always be drained, leaving little strength for what truly matters. On the other hand, if you focus your attention on vision, growth, and purpose, you will find that your energy multiplies in the direction of your destiny. Guarding your energy is not selfish, it is stewardship. You have been entrusted with a limited amount of time, strength, and focus. To waste it on the wrong things is to rob your future of its potential. One of the greatest drains on energy is relationships that do not align with your calling. People are like elevators. They either take you up or they take you down. Some people push you toward growth, inspire your faith, and encourage your vision. Others pull you into circles of doubt, distraction, and mediocrity. If you spend too much time with people who are not invested in your destiny, you will slowly lose the fire that drives you. It is not enough to love everyone. You must also choose carefully who has access to your inner circle. Those closest to you will influence your direction more than you realize. Guarding your energy means surrounding yourself with those who lift, not those who drain. Another thief of energy is the addiction to trivial pursuits. Hours are wasted scrolling through endless entertainment, comparing lives on social media, or numbing the mind with distractions. There is nothing wrong with rest or recreation, but when they consume the majority of your time, they become chains that bind your potential. You must ask yourself, will what I am giving my attention to right now add value to my purpose? Will it help me grow? Will it move me closer to the vision I carry? If the answer is no, then you are investing your energy into barren soil. Energy, once given to the wrong soil, will never return a harvest. Guarding your energy also means learning to say no. Every yes you give is a withdrawal from your account of time and focus. Many people waste years because they are afraid to disappoint others. They say yes to requests, yes to obligations, yes to distractions, and in the process they say no to their own destiny. You cannot please everyone and fulfill your purpose at the same time. Sometimes the most powerful word you can use is no. Not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. When you know what you are called to do, You will not allow the urgency of others to derail the urgency of your purpose. Your mind is another area that must be protected. What you feed your thoughts will determine your strength. Doubt, fear, and self-pity are parasites that eat away at energy. Guarding your energy means intentionally feeding your mind with faith, knowledge, and vision. Read books that stretch you. Listen to voices that build you. Spend time in environments that challenge you to grow. The stronger your mind, the more power you will have to stay focused on your assignment. Guarding your energy does not mean isolating yourself completely. It means being intentional with your investments. Life is a series of exchanges. Every hour you give is an exchange for something. The question is, what are you exchanging your life for? Are you trading your energy for distractions that leave you empty, or for pursuits that move you forward? Are you spending your days on things that will not matter in 10 years, or are you building something that will outlast you? When you guard your energy, you become selective with your exchanges, choosing to invest in what carries eternal weight rather than temporary pleasure. There will always be demands, pressures, and distractions competing for your attention. You cannot stop them from coming, but you can choose how you respond. The greatest power you have is the ability to decide where your energy flows. Every decision you make either adds strength to your purpose or steals it. The wise do not try to do everything. They focus on the main thing. So if you want to stop wasting years, start guarding your energy. Protect your time as if it were gold. Choose your relationships wisely. Say no to distractions without apology. Invest your strength into pursuits that align with your vision. Feed your mind with thoughts that empower rather than weaken you. Life is too short to allow your energy to be scattered in every direction. Concentrate it on what matters most. Because when your energy is guarded, your purpose is fueled. And when your purpose is fueled, every year of your life becomes a powerful step toward destiny. When a person discovers their purpose and begins to live it out, their entire perspective on time changes. The years no longer feel like random blocks of days filled with activity. They become chapters of intentional living, each one meaningful, each one productive, each one leaving a mark. Purpose has a way of transforming wasted time into fruitful seasons. It gives clarity, direction, and focus. Without purpose, years are spent wandering, drifting, and reacting to life. With purpose, years are invested, targeted, and filled with impact. That is why purpose is the difference between a year of regret and a year of fulfillment. When you live without purpose, you measure your life by what you have, what you achieve, or how people see you. But these are shallow measures. Wealth, success, and applause can fade. Purpose, however, outlives all of them. It is the compass that keeps you on course when storms of life come. It is the anchor that steadies you when distractions try to pull you away. It is the fire that keeps you moving when you feel tired. Purpose transforms existence into legacy. It makes every year count. Consider the person who spends a year chasing comfort, popularity, or material gain. They may finish the year with full hands but an empty heart. Compare that with the person who spends a year aligned with their calling, doing the work that fulfills their vision, helping others, building something meaningful. They may not end the year with everything the world applauds, but they will end it with peace, with satisfaction, with the knowledge that they lived in alignment with destiny. One life is spent, the other is invested. The difference is purpose. Purpose also redeems lost years. You may look back and see decades wasted on wrong choices, distractions, or fear. But once you step into purpose, the time that remains can become more impactful than all the years that were wasted. A short life lived on purpose can be more influential than a long life lived without it. History is full of examples of men and women whose purpose-driven years changed nations, shaped generations, or ignited movements, even though their lives were relatively brief. What gave them significance was not the length of their days, but the weight of their purpose. When you live on purpose, your priorities shift. You stop chasing everything and begin to focus on what matters most. You no longer measure success by comparison, but by faithfulness to your assignment. You no longer envy the paths of others, because you are too busy walking your own. Purpose eliminates confusion. It silences the noise of distraction. It gives you the courage to say no to good things so that you can say yes to the best things. Every year lived with purpose becomes intentional, fruitful, and satisfying. Purpose also ensures that your life has ripple effects beyond your own existence. When you live for yourself alone, the impact of your life ends with you. But when you live out your calling, your influence multiplies into the lives of others. The business you build, the words you speak, the kindness you show, the solutions you create, the wisdom you share, these become seeds planted in the soil of others' lives, producing fruit long after you are gone. Purpose-driven living is legacy building. Each year becomes a deposit not only in your life but in the lives of others. Without purpose, every year feels the same. There is motion but no progress, activity but no fulfillment. Days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, and you are left wondering what it was all for. But with purpose, each year feels like a step on a journey. Even the struggles, challenges, and failures gain meaning because they are seen as preparation for greater things. Purpose does not remove difficulty, but it redeems it. It gives you the strength to endure, knowing that your pain is not wasted but woven into the story of your destiny. So the question is simple: will you allow another year to pass without purpose? Or will you choose to align with the reason you were born? Will you settle for existence, or will you rise to intentional living? The choice is always in your hands. Purpose will not force itself on you. You must seek it, embrace it, and live it. The reward for doing so is immeasurable. Every year you live on purpose becomes a masterpiece, painted with the colors of impact, meaning, and fulfillment. And when the final chapter of your life is written, you will not look back with regret. Instead, you will be able to say with confidence that you did not waste your years. You invested them, you maximized them, and you lived them to the fullest. That is the gift of purpose. It transforms time into legacy. It makes every year a treasure instead of a regret. It ensures that your life was not just a story of existing, but a testimony of living with meaning. And when you embrace it, you will never again waste another year of your life.